Hello. For those of you that like the verbal over the written, um, place of peace, silent meditation and prayer. It happens most Fridays, but happening this Friday at 6 p.m. Um, yeah, I love it. It's a way, when we all come and sit together, it's a way to show or like actualize, put attention towards what you actually care about. That is, if you are someone who's interested in like a life of stillness, silence, peace, joy, like um, those real things, not the words of it. And the way to make that transition from like the word silence or patience or quiet, the way to make the transition from that word, right? Because the word is just the word, into the actual experience of being in that experiencing true silence, not through, the conceptual mechanism of the mind, but experientially. The one of the ways to do that is to keep giving it your attention, and that you could call that you could give say that's a definition of meditation, giving your attention to that which you love in sort of a devoted and um, consistent, sincere way, right? And what we give our attention to tends to grow. And I can attest to that because when I started meditating, it was in 2012, and it was kind of like I was like a drowning person, like grabbing onto a raft. And the raft is meditation, and it helped me a lot. And at that time, if you're familiar with Eckhart Tolle's pain body, like I was just there was just like gargantuan pain bodies of awfulness rolling around inside of me all the time, like almost all the time. And I didn't even realize that was I just thought that's, I didn't even realize that was unusual. I heard a thing on NPR today about an epiphany moment for women suffering domestic violence, and I'm sure any kind of abuse, but they might not even know that they're in a domestic violence situation if that's all they've lived. And so that was sort of, not that mine was domestic violence, but like the pain bodies that I was living with at that time, like the amount of inner wounding, pain, just awfulness that I was living with at that time. I was so habituated to it that I didn't know, like, I didn't know it was unusual or like something to really um, give give healing to. I just didn't know. And I guess I digress a little bit, but the point I'm trying to make is that, so that was 2012, so 12 years ago or so, right? And in that time, I've had a very consistent inquiry and meditation practice. And I certainly still have, I still have my pain bodies. I still have times when it like really flares up, but it's so much um, more mild and few and far between, right? Um, and there's also this perspective now of like, oh, that's that internal wounding. That's that. It's not me. That's these things that were like, embedded in me from early childhood and birth into this culture, into the, family lineage, whatever. So there's that perspective now. And all of that has really, consistent meditation gives like, it starts to give space so that you can look at things inside of you and start to understand them, start to understand that they're not you, because meditation will start to occasionally, like when you really drop into an experience of, say, peace, the real actual, what I call like teacher energy field of peace, when you actually move into that, um, totally forgot my train of thought there. I'm so into moving into the energy field of peace. What does happen when you move into the energy field of peace? Well, it's real, it's real. Oh, and I know what I was going to say. And it's like that is a facet of like what you actually are, is that peace. As it says in the Bible, the peace that surpasseth understanding. That is you. That's what you are. Yeah, so this peace is the peace is actually a facet of who and what you are, not the pain body, not the trauma, not the wounding. That's, in a way, it's like actually very impersonal, right? And just the way to, one of the things that helps you start to see that, and not just in a conceptual way, but like be like, oh, that's not me, is through meditation. So I rambled a bit, but the the Friday night sits are, it's just a powerful way to really, give true attention, true devotion, true, as you would to anything you loved and you wanted to get bigger and stronger. You've got to do the practice, right? And so these Friday evenings are designed to give people like a really, um, a good amount of practice at least once a week in a group. And I think you'll feel it. Um, a couple, well, probably beginning of the summer, I had a new client, and they they came with a bunch of different things that were upsetting them, and as we progressed, we worked together for like 12 weeks, and as we progressed, um, they just really didn't have hardly as many problems, and would go very, very deep into their inner work on our calls. And it was such a like kind of turnaround from how they had been presenting. It was tough when they were first reaching out to me. And it turns out that this person was doing like 1 to 2 hours of meditation a day. Kind of, I think they had had that practice before, or some sort of meditation practice, and then inspired by working together, they started meditating a lot. And it's like mysterious. You don't even know how that much meditation starts to just smooth other things over. Actually, I'm sure I do have ideas of why lots of meditation starts to kind of like smooth things over. And I notice it like on the days, if I go 2 or 3 days without meditating, it's like things just start getting a little squirrely, enough to notice. And it's like, what is going, oh, right. Right. Yeah, same with exercise for me. Um, so yeah, the Friday evenings they're beautiful. They're here. I didn't really clean up, so I don't want to show you over there, but they're right over there. That's where we sit. And just Place of Peace has this great sort of embodied ancient transmission of something all of its own that just augments everyone's experience. And yeah, there's two 25-minute silent sits and a 15-minute silent break in between. So plenty of time, that's at least 50 minutes of actual meditative silent sitting. And then all told, it's whatever that math is, 25, 25, and 15. So, it's a good primer. Okay. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.